Alright, alright, right. Let's do it. Dice. Dice is here. Hey, smashing. Svensson, Kuru. Oh, good. Look, see how groomed I am. Went to the hairdressers. Now I don't look like a bear. Now I look like a groomed bear. Hey, Chef Spartan, Hilary. Alright. Throw me some topics. Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm waiting for topics. Mars astronaut, goblin mine worker, space barbarian. Wow, that's fantastic. Right, that's 3. Cemetery scarecrow, 4. 2 more. Space witch. Ah, space barbarian, alright. Well, you could say space witch if you want. I would come up with something. 2 more topics, or I will make a topic. Maybe there's not enough people. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'd say topic number 5 is hoarder. Okay, this is just 5 topics. I have a topic number 5, hoarder, and today is number 2. Number 2 is goblin mine worker. Right. Goblin mine worker. So, who got goblin mine worker? Kuro. Goblin mine worker by Kuro. Who? Right. Let's do it. Goblin mine worker. Okay. This guy. Everyone knows a goblin. They're not strong. So this guy will be riding on an orc. And the orc is the guy mining. Let's think about the pose. I want the orc to be looking like he's or maybe it's more like a troll. Some sort of half orc, half troll. Make him big and droopy. I want the mine pick to be crude and heavy. And look heavy. So he's kind of standing awkwardly, but still in a strong way. I was thinking of the goblin. I'd like the interaction to be like a funny interaction. So I started with the idea of like a perch, like for a bird. Hey, Gilbert, good morning. Wow, it's 3 in the morning for you, Bjorn. Wow, you're a trooper. Thanks for coming. Right, so the goblin is perching on the mine worker, and he sits and controls it with I was thinking like reins. So he's riding it, like a jockey, uh, a horse jockey. When they sit on when they compete, they kind of sit up, you know. So maybe this goblin is perching and like always have to kind of lean back and strain the troll. No one has said that goblins are smart, so they're burning the candle on two ends. Their thighs and the trolls uh, by having leaning, so the troll always have to uh, carry the weight of the goblin backwards. Hey, good morning, Michal. Hey, Novio, good morning. Glad to see you here again. Would be cool with a troll being like a dog, like a slave. I'm thinking of trying to design. I want them to restrict the troll, so troll is too stupid to get away from the goblin. So they're in an abusive relationship in that sense. And I was thinking of maybe the goblins pierce the neck of the goblin, the troll, and attach the saddle. I think I need to actually. That looks okay. About okay. The size. I don't want the troll to be like buff. He needs to be like um, strong, like the people at strongman competitions. They look like they eat a lot of meat um, and live not on a diet in that sense. The like bodybuilders, they reduce their body fat so crazy amount just to have visible muscles, while strongmen they all they're focusing and diet is on strength. Hey, Ethan Walker. Good morning. Lou Rib. Ah, shit, timer. Thanks. Let's do 25. Thanks for the heads up, Georg. I think the handle there, the head needs to be moved out a bit, and the arm. I'm not feeling the pose. It feels a bit like restricted or squeezed. So I want to try to remedy it. Hey, dear Bard. Now, I gave myself some penalty minutes. I think 25 is a fair estimation of time passed. Trolls should be naked, right? They're more like animals. So the troll, it has wrist because it's a prisoner against its will. I was thinking, because it's walking around and mining, maybe they've like attached protection, like scraping protection, so that they don't cut themselves unnecessarily. Maybe the trolls don't have. Maybe they have like internal, like they can extrude them like a dog. Maybe they just make like a cup and put the junk in the cup. Like a beanbag. That is one of the ugliest word for balls. Is beans. Such a stupid word for a scrotum. Let's give him small feet to show that like he's awkward, right? Such that it puts the lotion in the basket or it gets the hose again. Such a freaky movie. Who's seen Silence of the Lamb? Is there a brother who hasn't seen Silence of the Lamb with Anthony Hopkins? It's a horror movie about a mass murderer called Hannibal Lecter. You say who didn't, but imagine being born like 2005 or whatever. Why would they? It's an old movie, you know. Chef Spartan. It's a really cool movie about, like I said, Hannibal Lecter, who's, I think he's actually an actual character, right? It's based on a real, uh, or was it Buffalo Bill that was an actual mass murderer? I think. Anyways, there's a scene in that movie where a friendly other mass murderer um, friend to this Hannibal have a captive, and he makes them put lotion on themselves, so he can later make uh, clothes out of them. And that's where that sentence comes from. It puts lotion on itself, or it will get the hose again. He forces them to put lotion on, so their skin is subtle. Yeah, it's definitely a classic. It's one of those have to see movies, in movie uh, history. It's like you cannot. It's a good point about the whip. Who said it? Chef Spartan. Um, I'm just thinking of like maybe they just need to write it, or maybe I don't know. I feel like if I change the pose, maybe I can change the pose. Yeah, there's 4 movies, but they're not as good as the first. The original is crazy good. The TV show apparently is pretty good as well. Um, they've managed to kind of capture the original Hannibal movie essence, Silence of the Lambs. It's with Jodie Foster as well. She does a really good job at acting. Um, I think it was one of her like uh, performances to make her the superstar she is. If I'm not mistaken, the movie is from early 90s. Uh, I know, of course, Anthony Hopkins is crazy good in that movie. Yeah, the other ones are far from the masterpiece, like Silence of the Lambs. That's a good point. Could be in the teeth. Gives it better um, kind of silhouette. Let's do that change. Yeah, I love watching those classic movies. Um, it's not that they're old that naturally makes them good. It's that like level of cinematography and taste when it comes to uh, the decisions that they made while making the movie. You know, like what's the shot, how are they presenting the characters, and so on. It's just they don't do them in the same way anymore. Um, a lot of movies nowadays are just kind of instant gratification based on that stimulus of the brain where uh, you just feed it um, adrenaline or reward, and it just likes big, bright colors and things like that. Um, and older movies like from the 90s, they're really good ones. And around that time, I mean, previous to that as well. I mean, around the 80s, 90s were the birth of action movies, you know, the Lethal Weapon and all those kind of beginning of what movies are today. Big explosions and all these things. But the setup and pace of a movie is completely different. And I'd think if you would make a movie today like they did them in 90s, 80s, it would not be as good. And I think the classics that are still good has managed to bridge, you know, that gap of how do they present a story that is not bound in that specific period of time's way of telling a story. You know, that's why Silence of the Lambs works today, because it's kind of like a timeless way of shooting a movie, of how to present a story and characters and the way to shoot the movie. It's just so well done that it holds up to the um, tests of time, you know. And there's not a lot of movies that do, and that's why there's a lot of shit movies, you know. It's just because it's not the same kind of mastery of telling a story. It's a big part of you know, it's not just coming up with a cool idea and then shoot it. It's about all these little like bridges and things that ties the whole movie together. How they present, like I don't know if it's on internet, but there's this guy called Mike Hill. He did a presentation at the workshop about a movie called Contact with Jodie Foster. Yet again, but the movie is really good, personally, I think. But he talked about the design in movies and how to tell a story, and like how important it is to have a continuity and a story to tell, rather than just flashy things. You know, like a cool looking robot. It has to have a meaning. It has to have a design. You know, you have to have a story to tell. And he did this really cool analysis of just the chairs in current movies, and compared to the kind of mastery of Contact, which is actually a really good movie. I don't know if it's on the internet, but you should try to find it, or if not, um, catch his lectures on the workshops. He's really clever, really good at analyzing movies. Oh, Novio, I love Heat. Heat is really good. I actually have to watch it now that you reminded me of it. It's so good. I remember seeing it, and in surround sound, they did an amazing job on the surround sound on that movie, and hearing all those gunfires in the street in surround sound, and it's echoing through the room, and it's amazing. It's a really cool movie. I love that movie. I think they really successfully made that movie translate tensions, like the tension of a firefight. I mean, I haven't been in a firefight, with machine guns and uh, you know, with cops and shooting people, but I can imagine that it's very similar, in real life, the tension and the chaos and how loud and lethal the bullets are, and it's a great movie. Yeah, as you can hear, I'm a big movie fan. I had opportunity to go and look at Blade Runner on at the cinema. It's crazy good, that movie. I don't get it. It's like such a masterpiece. Like it was shot in like 81 or 79 or something like that, and it looks like a modern movie. The pacing, obviously, like we talked about, is an old pace. It's very slow and very like you have to pay attention to what they're saying and to the actual acting. You know, it's not the movie for a modern audience. They will get bored by it, unfortunately. But man, that movie is so good. Crazy good movie. You're just sold of the whole universe and the characters. It's cool. It's good. There's another movie you guys got to see if you haven't seen it. Blade Runner with Harrison Ford. Hey, Lou Rip, welcome back. Yeah, they're making a new Blade Runner. I'm so scared of the result of that movie. If it's going to be good or bad. Like, why? It's like it's such an epic classic movie, and you just want to make the sequel to it. It's like, how dare you? Let it be the unicorn it is. You know, and if it's not up to par, if it's going to be explosions and action and and all these things. It's just like, just to let your version die. Don't publish it. Let it let Blade Runner just be the beautiful unicorn it is. And I think it's a lack of ideas when you start doing sequels and all these series of the same idea. It's like, just let it be. Come up with something new. And that's why Blade Runner stood out. There was nothing like it at the time. Yeah, I heard that Blade Runner was not a success when it was released, but over time it has become a hit. It has become a success over time. I have the 30th anniversary edition of Blade Runner with all different releases of the cuts, like director's cut, extended cut. Um, it's a really cool movie. I love it. I have it on Blu-ray. I went to see it on cinema. It's just it's just so good. Okay, let's do a blocking so I have time to. So there's actually something visible. But yeah, I'm a big movie guy. I love movies. What I think I love the most is not the movie itself, the idea of cinema, but the idea of teleporting into another world. You know, like if you think about it, you don't think about your own body. Like when watching a movie, you're like engulfed in the world. You're so focused on what you're looking at that the actual physical being of you is very, the your understanding of your own body is very limited because you're so focused at the movie. And I think that's a big part of what I love about movies is that it's like dreaming, right? You're not When you're dreaming, you don't feel your body sleeping in a bed, right? You're just engulfed in this uh, other world that your brain just creates for you. And I love that. And I also love that about like gaming. Like when you're gaming and when you're used to game, um, you don't think about pressing buttons. You're just reacting, and you exist in this world by by just pressing, um, reacting in that sense. Does that make sense? I don't know. Maybe I'm rambling. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. But for me, it makes sense. Alien 1 was an amazing movie. I loved Alien 1. Really, really good. Obviously, I mean, I worked on 2 projects that involves the Alien IP. Um, I'm a little bit fed up with it because of it, but I love the way the whole world, and it's such a unique creature, and the world they created is so spot on. Like, you don't question the reality of what they present to you when it comes to um, characters and technology, and it's just all there, and you just accept it as is, rather than having to try to understand it or rationalize it. It's just there, and that's it. You know, I think that's what makes that movie as well, so unique. All right, that's it. Time's up. Goblin mine worker. Definitely Smashy. You're so engulfed in the creation that the physical aspect of you is removed. You know. All right. Have a great day, everyone. Good night to some other people, and catch you all tomorrow. Bye.